Hello everyone and welcome to your online trigonometry class. I'm Dr. Ross and I look forward to working with you this semester. I just kind of wanted to help you see how the course is laid out and what to expect there. So when you pull up your course, you should come up to a page similar to the one that I've pulled up here. The only new thing will be this video that you're watching, and it'll be of course under the Start Here menu. But when I click Start Here, it tells me some things to take care of right away. So clearly you want to watch this video, which you're clearly doing. You want to set up your MyMathLab account, and so to do that you should have purchased in the bookstore an access code, and you should it should be seamless to use that access code and to get it set up. You'll want to take care of that as soon as possible because you have assignments due this week, and I don't want you to not have that account set up in a timely manner and you miss those assignments. Okay. You want to be sure that you've read everything, and if you will, post to the discussion board that you have indeed read everything and that you understand the policies. That's not saying that you agree with the policies by any means, but just that you know what is expected. And if you have any questions about those, please feel free to contact me. And then you'll also want to make your proctor testing appointment, and the date for that is on the course calendar. So I want to talk about all three of those things. So to set up your MyMathLab account, you can click this link, and you might just even want to play around and look through some of those things. Again, mine on the teacher side is going to look differently than yours, but you'll be prompted to open the course, and then you'll probably pretty quickly be prompted to put in your access code and to set up your account and so forth. So again, mine is a little bit different than yours, so I won't go through that. But listen, if you have any issues getting that set up, please get with me, email me, talk to me, and let me help you get that going, okay? Once you do have that set up, you'll want to run this browser check. So that seems to give students the most issues, is not having their browser updated, or maybe they need to clean their cache or their cookies, any of those type things. So most students have the best luck with Chrome, using Canvas with that. So run that and be sure that you don't need to run any updates or anything. Okay, so we're going to set up that MyMathLab account. We're going to do that right away, and then we're going to look through all the policies. So with the policies, you'll want to read, of course, the syllabus. You'll want to look at the course calendar and the important information, those three documents in particular. I'm going to go through quickly all of these documents. So under contact information, again, there is my contact, and y'all, the best way to get a hold of me is email. Once in a while, an online student will call, and it's not that I don't return calls or check voicemail, but you'll get a quicker answer by going to email. The syllabus. And of course, you can download these things if you decide to. There's all the things that we're going to cover this semester. You will be interested in this grading scale, so I do, or these percentages rather. I do count homework and some quizzes. They're typically minor things in the big scheme of things. Your test and your final exam count the bulk of the material, and a 10-point grading scale. All right, so each week, and I'll show you this on the course calendar in a moment, but each week you'll have some things to do for the week, of course. It's a real class, and you need to treat it as such. My advice is to kind of schedule some time in your week to be sure and get your work done. You can do homework multiple times, so feel free to do that until you have 100 if you want to. There's no issue with that at all. But it must be done and completed by the due date, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So the last score that you receive is the score that I'll grade. So I'll wait, probably not post those grades into Canvas until the next week after that has closed, okay? There'll be 4 tests to take, and those dates I'll show you are on the course calendar, but this line, the second test, is proctored, meaning you have to go to campus to take that test. You'll want to schedule that appointment quickly. Proctor testing appointments, as we get closer, they're going to fill up, and it may not be one that is at a convenient time for you. So that's, to be honest, that's on you. So schedule it early so that you can arrange it around your work responsibilities or your family responsibilities and so forth. I'll drop one of your quiz grades. The final is comprehensive, and these are all timed. So if you do happen to open a test, the timer starts. So there's a little bit of extra time. Don't stress any of that, but don't open the test until you're prepared to take the test, because that'll be an issue. There's a blurb about proctored testing. You need to be active every week. That means you need to be completing something every week. If you don't do anything in an entire week, you'll be dropped from the class due to lack of activity. There's a whole blurb about academic honesty. You can read that. Reasonable accommodations. And I have had some online students that have needed an accommodation. That's not a problem. You're entitled to that. So take care of that right away if you need that. If you're not sure who to talk to, then email me and I'll tell you who your ADA person is on your campus. And that's the syllabus. So probably the most important thing for you is going to be the course calendar. And y'all, I have double checked this. I think all the dates are right. They should be. Nonetheless, we're going with it. So if it's an error on my part, it's my fault and I'll fix it. Otherwise, we're going to adhere to the course calendar. So this is the tricky piece. Everything is due on Friday at lunchtime, Friday at noon. You do not have to do things on Friday. You can do things whenever you please. You can do it on the middle of the night on Tuesdays if you prefer. So figure out your life and how it pertains to that. This is the absolute deadline, Friday at noon. The one exception to that is the final exam, which is due Wednesday, but there's plenty of time to take that and to do that. So this is, you're in the class today on 122. This is the material that you're going to look at, some introductory things, and you have a homework assignment due this week. So by Friday at noon, you'll need to take care of that homework assignment. All right. We all have our own lives, and you in particular have your own life and things that you're responsible for. So I kind of run my weeks from the weekend through the following Friday. So each week begins on Saturday and ends on Friday. And so again, there are the dates for those. Once more, you can do these things whenever during that time period, but by that deadline, they should be taken care of. There's test 2, so you can find you a time between February the 17th and March the 1st to schedule that test with the Proctor Testing Center. And while I'm thinking about it, you schedule that through Smarter Proctoring. Again, you're not going to see all these grayed out things on your screen, but you should have a Smarter Proctoring link, and you'll want to set that up and go ahead and take care of scheduling that appointment. It all should be good to go. If there's an issue, then please email me. I set that up last week, so we should be good there. And so there's our schedule for the entire semester. And then here's some important dates to think about, drop dates and refund dates and so forth, and the final exam. So the course calendar. Print that out, put it in an important place for you. The important information is an extra document, so you just want to read through this. This talks about no late assignments. You know, people always say, well, my computer has died. Well, fine, but you're taking an online class, so you need a backup plan if that kind of thing happens. My advice is to test on campus if you need to. Use the computers on campus if you need to. But nonetheless, be sure you're taking care of business. Read through that document and look at those things that are expected. And then finally, office hours is the last document here. If it'll pull up, here we go. So these are my office hours. So I tend to respond to email during those times. Typically, I'm at work usually by 7, so this is usually when I answer emails. So if you email at night, it's probably going to be the next day before I email. You should not have to wait in even 24 hours to get a response, maybe with the exception of the weekend, but especially during the week, I tend to answer emails as they come in, so you can kind of look at that. And as always, you're welcome to meet with me if your schedule is where you can come to the PERT campus and do so. So when you look through all of those and you feel like you have an understanding there, then posted this certification form. And all that's saying is that I've read and understand the course policies and syllabus. So be sure and make that posting. If I don't get a posting from you within the week, then what I'll do is block your access to the course until I get something in writing. And again, that's not saying I agree with those things. You don't have to agree with the class, but nonetheless, they're the policies. And then if you have any questions for the class, or for me, for the class, feel free to post those there. One word of caution about that: please don't email me and also post to the discussion board. If you post, I get an email saying that you have posted, and so I'll answer that. But if I answer an email and I don't answer a post, well, then it looks like to your classmates that I haven't addressed your question. And I certainly want to. Please, I want to do that. So please do one or the other. Email is probably the quickest way, again, to do that. But nonetheless, there is the question. All right, what do I do every week? So you've got a course calendar, you've got some homework to look at. My advice is to get down here to this multimedia library. And listen, it is arranged by chapter. And there are all sorts of things that are useful to us. So, for instance, if I'm in chapter 1 this week, section 1, and I'm going to select all, you probably not going to want to select all every time, but I can find all those pieces that exist there. You've got a section in the textbook that you can use. You've got a PowerPoint that you can use, and you've got some videos. Again, I might just open that textbook window to the side and maybe kind of glance at it with these videos. Once more, online classes are not, this is not difficult necessarily, but they're not automatically easy. So the sum total of all of these videos is about 15 or 20 minutes. So spend some time looking at those and working through your homework. But that's where the instruction is. Don't jump to the homework and do it multiple times. You're not getting all the information that you need, okay? And there's a couple of ways to get to these items, but nonetheless, I've put them there. Here's the homework. And actually nothing is available for you as of the making of this video, because I've actually made this video prior to class starting, so there'll be things listed there. Let me just log into mine so I can kind of show you one other thing. Assignment manager. Again, you won't see this, but here's everything due for the semester. And then during the week of a test, I've also given you a practice test. There are some other things that you may come across in Pearson as far as practice test or mastery or some of that kind of stuff. None of that will be assessed for a grade. Just these things that I have in this list. So you'll absolutely want to go through those practice tests as you prepare. Okay. That also takes you to My Math Lab. There's some other things you can play around with there. But at any rate, that's how our class is laid out. Something's due every week. We'll follow the course calendar. I'm in it with you. If you have any questions, you need any help, please contact me. That's never a problem. That's why we want to help you at Gulf Coast. I look forward to working with you this semester. Good luck in the course.